We leveled up, right?
Did not
Yes.
Oh my
Level
god,
up.
I forgot to do that.
We're at 11, right?
Oh my god, yeah. Whoops.
The four of you and your newfound ally, Parker, a human kid, just 15 or 16 years old, and Cepha, a large wolf husky mix of unknown intelligence, are in a covered wagon, heading out of the dockside town to keep you away from the public eye. One of you has the wanted posters that Parker snatched from the bulletin board, shoved away in your pocket or satchel, and most of you sit in the back of this wagon. The wagon is full of folded quilts that seem to be made out of various clothing pieces and a few different closed chests. Naya is currently disguised, holding the reins as Parker sits beside her with his hands behind his head, like he's just having the best time. This is great. He just found some new friends. This is a good time. And everyone's kind of enjoying the views of the hills and the fields and the farmland, occasionally talking to the sheep and goats as the cart passes. Parker makes sure to acknowledge them as they are going by. And then finally, without warning, he turns to Naya and says, "What did you do anyway?" Kind of looking down at the wanted posters that were snatched.
You're very direct, aren't you?
Well, I mean, you don't have to tell me, but...
Well, technically I didn't do anything illegal, but I took the blame for something my brother did. It was a theft, a stupid prank, but it was the wrong person to anger, basically, and someone's head had to roll for it. And he's... he reminds me a little bit of you, actually. He doesn't like to listen to what anyone tells him to do, but he's lovable, and so a lot of people are willing to go to bat for him.
He seems to be taking this as an insult and a compliment at the same time. But so he's just sitting there, and you can see him working through what was just told to him, and he's just sitting there kind of nodding. And he kind of, end result, seems pleased with it, and he just kind of sits back and crosses his arms, and you go forward a little bit further, and up in front of you on the side of the road, you see a man and a horse on the ground. The horse is kind of making these terrible noises, like it's in pain, like the horse had been pushed over or something. The man is struggling to help it up. As soon as he kind of looks up and sees the cart coming, he just, you hear him shout please, you have to help her. He's still kind of far in the distance. And so far he just sees Naya and Parker. What would you like to do?
Parker, is that someone you recognize?
It's really hard to tell from here, but he looks out and he's like, no, I don't think so.
I'll say, I'll look over to our druid friend, be like, does the animal look injured?
Does it look injured?
Go ahead and make a perception roll.
Because we're in the back of this moving car,
you can
right?
kind of
So we're
pop your head out.
How fast is the wagon going? Could we hop off?
Yeah, that's up to Naya, I guess.
Okay, that's the 15.
I mean, I would not be speeding, but so I would say it would
you don't want to get pulled over.
Regular. At a medium pace.
You said 15?
Mm-hmm.
You can't really see any injuries or anything, but the way the horse sounds, you can. It's probably safe to assume there's some sort of injury preventing the horse from standing back up.
Cool. I'm a very trusting kind of character. I'm just gonna he would just move straight there and try and help out. So I'll cast Cure Wounds on the horse at
Okay.
first level.
Okay, yeah. Once you start getting out, you hear Parker just kind of whistle, and Sepha immediately jumps out of the cart and like takes off towards the scene as well.
Okay, I guess we're stopping.
Everybody's just rushing out, and you're like, "All right."
Whoa.
We just jumped out of the car mid-move.
Rushing over, you're able to see this horse's leg has been caught in a trap that had been set on the road. And as soon as you all get up to it, Sepha's immediately like sniffing the horse's leg and everything, and Parker kind of goes over and is trying to grab onto the trap, and the man, he's just got like blood all over his hands from trying to help this horse, and he just kind of sits back. He kind of like sees your group like taking charge here, and he just kind of takes a couple steps back and is just watching, like, please help me. And Parker is like, I can't get it, and he's just like looking up to you like for help.
The crow.
I was going to say, yeah. I have a -1 in strength, so like.
Do.
So does Parker.
If I can't help strength wise to get this open, like I can't. Like,
It's not good because I'm not strong either.
I've got a +1 to my strength, but that's about it.
Perhaps if we all work
did that
together.
together, yes.
Who's the heaviest?
Not me.
I'm pretty light.
Damn it. I was hoping the lion
It's
character
fine.
might be the heaviest because we could just sit on it. Instead of pulling it, it's more pushing it.
Engineering. Here's the question. What kind of trap is it? Is it like a bear trap, or like one of those you gotta like pull?
Go ahead
off?
and make an investigation roll for me.
Sure. 12. Okay. Investigation. Skills investigation. So that's a 16, 20, dirty 20, because 16 plus 4 plus my proficiency.
Nice. Looking at this, it looks like it was some sort of bear trap or something, but you see it has been altered in a way to make it almost easier to hide.
Mm-hmm.
In the road, things are a little flatter, but the actual like teeth of it are thinner and sharper to just latch on even harder. Like, it's definitely not meant to kill by any means, but it's definitely meant to stop.
Okay.
Instead of
So
trying to
is it a
force it open, can I try my thieves' tools to see if I
I
can
was gonna.
disassemble it?
I was gonna
You
just
can
say the
maybe
same
take the
thing. It's
spring
like,
off.
yeah, is there like components that we can like unlatch and like?
Yeah.
whatever?
Naya, go ahead and make that thieves tools roll.
Coffee good.
That was a real big brain moment. That was good.
Because none of us are strong, but I'm like, engineering. How can
It's
we
a
just
23.
Okay, so two things to this. You reach into your pocket to grab your thieves' tools, and you feel something else in there. You're not entirely sure what it is, but it's not yours. But you're a little more concerned with this horse right now, and you pull out your thieves' tools, and you are able to take it takes a couple minutes, but you are able to at least disassemble it enough to pull the horse's leg free from this. And it is about this time that you're all beginning to notice the satchel on the side of this horse. and the wanted posters that are inside of it. Some of them spilling out. Parker notices this too, and he just kind of freezes and looks a little bit nervous. What would you like to do?
Is the man still in shock?
The man seems very concerned about his horse right now. He is thanking you. He is, after that cure wounds, the wound is, it's no longer like, losing blood. It's still a pretty messed up leg, but
so he's not paying attention.
He's tending
really
to his horse currently.
But he's not like, so if we were to be like, oh, look at all these wanted posters, he doesn't need these.
You could try to swipe the satchel. There are some papers that have fallen out too in the fall.
I think we should just play it normal and just
But
sort of stuff it
stuff
back
it
in there
back
and
in there.
say,
Say, okay.
Yeah.
Have a nice day.
Yep. We've done
Okay.
some good. He can notice us later after we've left.
I would like to watch his face to see if there's any kind of recognition or alarm.
Okay.
Okay.
Good idea.
If it seems like he's going to do something, then I want to be like, then I'm ready, like with a spell.
Okay. So there's like this play it cool kind of moment that is inevitably a little bit awkward as the horse is getting up and realizing, he can put pressure on his leg, and the horse is still just making these noises like it's not quite sure what just happened, and the man's just petting his horse, it's okay. And he does turn and like start stuffing some of these papers back into the satchel, like trying to collect his things, and he's just mumbling, certain thank yous, and then he's like, thank you so, and he looks at one of the posters and his eyes just flick to one of you, and then there's a moment where he's like, maybe they won't notice, but he knows that you noticed, and he says, my horse would have died if you hadn't come along.
Okay. I wanted to talk to him and persuade him not to do anything, and just to say that not everything that he reads shows everything that there is.
Yes.
He's slowly like still putting them back into the satchel, and they say that you broke out of your cells and hijacked a transport vessel. They've been saying to watch for you, that you could be anywhere and you're all very dangerous. Prince Landrum. And he turns to Parker. Do you know what you're doing? And Parker says, I am in very capable hands. It's probably better if this interaction didn't happen, don't you think? And the man kind of nods. He looks to each of you, looks to Parker, looks to Cepha. Your father would probably have me fired if he knew I let you wander around with known criminals, all due respect. So yeah, this never happened.
I was about to say, what criminals?
Can I do an insight check to see if I can tell if he's being sincere?
Yes.
I got a 10.
Okay. He says, this never happened, but I certainly will never forget it. And he holds out his hand to shake all of your hands. And Naya, when you shake his hand, you're like looking into his eyes. And it's not that he's like, oh, I got to do the right thing and not tell on you. It is like if the king found out that I let Parker wander off with these criminals, I will lose my job. So it's more of a self-preservation sort of deal that he's probably not going to tell anyone.
I'll look at Parker and go, what kind of monster puts traps on the side of the road for innocent horses?
He's looking at it and he's like, it sounds like the Arklings. They're bandits mostly, but that's a problem for another day. And he grabs a few pieces of the trap and he puts them into one of Cepha's little side satchels. He's like, We're not too far from where we saw it before, and you see him looking around trying to get his bearings for location. Let's hide the cart and we can walk the rest. It's a little bit off the trail.
Yeah, sounds good.
Sounds good. We've been on a transport of some sort for a while. It's good to stretch the legs.
All right, so you kind of hide the cart behind some trees and you start walking through these beautiful fields. Is there any conversation along the way or anything you would like to do or be preparing or anything like that as you're just kind of following Parker through these fields?
So moving through these fields, we're moving away from the road, right?
Correct.
Not like beside it.
Correct. Away.
Parker, should we be preparing for any dangerous wildlife or, anything?
Wildlife? No, I wouldn't call them wildlife.
Then,
Well,
multiple.
okay. And he stops walking and okay, so like all the scholars and smart people and everything, everybody thinks that they have discovered every creature, right? Like, you're not gonna find anything new. I found something new. But it looks like it used to be, like, human? We saw it when we were walking around these fields before, and he's just kind of pointing to Cepha, like, and nobody will believe me. And I can't take care of it by myself, so I just need to know if there's more than one. We might not find anything, and then you guys might think I'm crazy too. I don't know, but...
Are you saying you're keeping this creature as a pet?
No. I'm afraid they're gonna wander closer to the towns and the cities.
Have you not told your father's guard?
I have, but nobody believes me. Look, I'm supposed to stay in the kingdom anyway. I'm not supposed to wander around. So when I'm wandering around, I'm like, oh, look what I found. They're like, yeah, okay.
Oh, I see. Well, I look at the group. First and foremost, keeping him safe is our utmost importance.
Mm-hmm.
Secondly, let us see what he is excited about. Thirdly, if it is dangerous, we must dispatch it.
If it's dangerous to the nearby town, we must dispatch it.
But if it's a natural thing, then let it be.
It's unnatural.
Agreed.
It is it is unnatural. Well, that's comforting. It gives me all the warm fuzzies, Parker.
Yeah.
How were you able to get close to it without it attacking you?
It did attack, but Cepha got me out before it like...
Well, that is foreboding.
Cepha got you out?
Yeah.
How?
She bit me. And he just kind of turns and looks at her like, how dare you? She dragged me out.
Okay, she bit you and dragged you out. I was like, did she? Okay. Were you in its lair? Like, you know where it lives?
No, it was just wandering around out here, but I don't know, there are some caves south of here, but I don't...
And we think there's more than one at this point. Or is there only one?
I only saw one, and...
Parker, what does it look like?
Well, it had legs and like humanoid legs, like almost like its clothing was like burned into it, and its torso was just so I can't describe it. And I hope we don't find one, and I hope that maybe that was just the only one, but it was unnatural. It was like something really bad happened to a person.
How tall was it?
And he looks to all of you. How tall is Ephraim?
I am 6 foot.
Okay. I'm taller than him.
Okay.
Oh, that is a large creature.
Okay. Well, I guess we can look for it.
Yes.
Alright.
I mean, you have my my interest now has been piqued. I don't know if I'm more scared than interested, but either way, intrigued, Parker.
Okay, I saw it. I think over this hill, and he keeps leading you in that direction. Heading over a couple more of these hills, you stand at the top of one, and you're able to look out at just this beautiful countryside all around you on every side. Vibrant green grass. It's like just blowing super softly in the wind, and the air smells sweet with like honeysuckle and just summer air. And it's just incredibly pleasant, especially compared to the jungle you had just left and the prison cell you had just left before that. Parker bends down on one knee beside Cepha and pets her, and you see them match each other's eye lines, and he looks out at the fields with her, and you hear him say, "Where is it, girl?" And you hear just a deep growl come from Cepha's chest, and she puts her nose to the ground, and she begins heading down the hill to follow a trail. And Parker stands up and says, "Okay, are you ready?"
Absolutely.
But he has no. Ephraim is just like, oh, I'm ready, but I don't know if I really am.
I'm ready, but I don't know what I'm ready for.
Yes, I can be.
Yeah, I'm just like, no, words.
All right. So you just follow Parker down this hill?
I would like to prepare a firebolt.
Okay.
I will flick out Beatrice.
All right.
Just have it ready. Just more cautious than anything, really.
Anybody else preparing anything?
Bart's just following along.
Okay.
Same.
All right. So you head down this hill, and you come up to what looks like it was once like steps and a foundation to what maybe would have been a home before they completely abandoned building homes down here. Even just walking through here, there's beautiful grass on the actual hills, but any flat spots, it's just rock. There's nowhere to like garden down here at all. You can't grow anything down here. So you see a few different foundations where like a settlement was attempted. And you're kind of traversing through this settlement. You see Cepha's nose to the ground, just sniffing, looking around, hair kind of standing up on her back. And then she stops, and you see her hair stand up even more, and she kind of hunches her back over, and she's growling deeply in the direction of what appears to be some sort of obscured cave entrance.
Well, it does seem that Sepha has found something.
I want to inspect the ground near it to see if there's any footprints, any sort of tracking markings.
That's a
things
good
like
idea. Mm.
Okay. Are you going up to it or just looking from a distance?
that. I'm going up to it.
Okay, sure. Did you want to roll survival for that, or?
Yes, I would
Okay,
like to
cool.
roll survival. 15.
Okay. There are many tracks. They all look to be like boot prints. A couple different footprints. That's all you can really tell. They kind of overlap with each other. It looks like they're going in and out.
In and out of this place? Okay.
Mhm.
In and out of where the obscured cave is?
Yes.
Okay.
That's what I was going to ask. Is can we discern like how many sets of footprints? Is it one that it continuously back and forth? Is it like several, like a group of individuals?
Wait a second. Can I check out Parker's boots and see if one of
Yeah,
these,
I was just going to say.
one of
like, is
these
it just-
tracks are
it's
Parker's
just him
boots?
coming back and
Okay.
forth.
All right, so you're looking at the boots, you're looking at the like footprints and everything, and you just walk over and you just grab Parker's like pant leg and just
Yeah.
pull, and he's like, "Oh, what are you doing?" And you just look down at definitely not the same boot.
Okay.
The boots you see are definitely much larger than
Okay.
and there are different sized footprints as well. Like without boots, you see like just a footprint. And there are different sizes of those.
Does it look like a human foot with 5
Um,
toes?
Yeah.
So this is like a town or like a village almost.
It looks like it once was. Yeah. It's just the foundations of everything left. There's no like actual structures
Very,
anymore.
yeah. Okay.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah. Okay. Stone foundations.
Mhm.
Okay.
And it is at this point that I am going to have Barth, what is your AC?
15.
Okay. It is at this point that all of you looking around, you see this flash of movement as some sort of fleshy looking tentacle flies from this cave entrance, grabs onto Barth, and pulls him inside.
Why? What? It's always.
Bye.
Just like have a good trip.
It's always me!
I was just gonna say it's always Bob.
So
Whacked by a
let's
dinosaur! I get thrown off an airship!
let's roll some initiative and find my pen. Where's my
boy.
pen?
Oh boy. Parker, you want to stay
Ooh.
outside?
Not too shabby. Not too shabby.
Two decent, well, one not so good roll, one decent roll so far.
14 for my initiative. Not too bad. Not too bad.
18 for Naya.
Ooh, nice.
21 for Barth.
21 as well.
Gotta one up me.
Sorry. It's okay. I don't know where I am anyway.
He's-
I was not expecting a tentacle.
yeah, me
I
either.
don't know what I was expecting, but it was
Well,
not a tentacle.
we started as a high fantasy steampunk, and now we're going into Eldritch Horror.
Yep.
Um,
Yep.
Parker
Really?
didn't say anything about tentacles, by the way, so I wasn't expecting it.
He didn't really
And-
say much of anything.
It's true.
That
He
it
really
had
didn't.
legs.
He really didn't. Well,
from
no,
what
we-
he was describing, I was so sure we were going to face a Bodak. Obviously, my character didn't know that, but me as a player did. And yeah, no, I was way off. Bodak
I
do
thought
not
it was
have
like
tentacles.
a werewolf or something.
Yeah,
Yeah.
something. Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. Some kind of
I was thinking
shapeshifter.
more like a Frankenstein monster type thing.
Mhm.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, so it would be Tati, Barth, and Sepha all at the same time. And cinematically here, before anything actually happens, Barth is grabbed, pulled into this cave, and all of you are like, I wasn't expecting tentacles. And you look at Parker. Parker was not expecting tentacles. I rolled a natural 1 on Parker's initiative. Natural 1. So he's just like,
Oh.
And I just like Parker.
So now Tati, Barth, and Sepha. Sepha immediately just like growls this angry growl and takes off into the cave.
Yeah, I'm happy with that as well.
Just
I'll 30 feet into the cave as well.
all right. Does everyone have dark vision?
Yes.
Yes.
I mean,
Hold on, I don't know if I do.
I don't think you do. I think
And
we've
you're
had
the
this
one pulled
question
into
before.
the cave. Oh no.
Yeah.
the one person who doesn't have dark vision is the one who just got pulled into the cave.
Are you?
Where would
human?
that be? No, I'm halfling.
Should be.
Oh, I think halflings only do sometimes.
When they're the.
It should be under like if you're on D&D Beyond, it should be under abilities, saves, and senses. Right
Yes.
underneath senses. It'll be like passive whiz, passive in, passive, and then underneath that.
I don't
it's
think
like
you do, you know.
Dark
Or
vision.
features and traits.
Features and traits. Yeah, mine. says
Okay,
dark-
I don't have dark vision.
dark
Perfect.
vision for
Beautiful. Okay.
Yeah, I'm blind and scared.
oh my god.
That's really sad.
Story of my life.
Tati is just sprinting into this cave. You run in. It does take like a second for your eyes to adjust to the darkness of the cave. You see it is rather small. You can actually see the end of this cave. It just looks like it's just empty. There's nothing. There's no structures like furniture. There's no anything. And as you are looking, you can see the drag marks from Barth being dragged in here. And you look up and you see a sort of taller, humanoid-looking creature. You see humanoid legs and a sort of humanoid torso with just this massive fleshy tentacle protruding from its mouth, and this tentacle is wrapped around Barth, and you see like the mouth of it biting into him.
Oh boy.
So, Tati, that is what you see.
Okay. I'm gonna light up. So my body starts to glow, and you see small dots of light, like pinned throughout like my shoulders, my chest, one on my neck, and I'm gonna take the Archer starry form. And when I activate this as part of my action, I like throw this bolt of light at the creature. That's a nat 20.
Nice.
Nice.
This is a good start.
Oh, this is a good
Absolutely.
start.
Uh-huh. And it does
Nice.
2d8 plus 1 wisdom damage. So I don't know how to like take a photo
Hey.
of this to prove that it happened, because this has never happened before. But that is 2 8s on my 2d8, so that's a
Nice.
Oh my god. So
this is a
you-
good start.
Yeah.
You get to double that, right?
Yeah, of course. So that's 1632, and then
Nice.
plus my wisdom, which is 5, so that's 37 damage.
And what type of damage is this?
That is a good point. I think it's radiant damage.
Okay.
Ranged attack, luminous
Nice.
arrows, radiant damage.
And so, since you are lit up as well, Does that light up the entire? Does that say lit up? Like,
It says glowing. I shed light in a 10-foot radius and
Okay.
then dim light in an additional 10-foot radius. I
Okay.
don't know if that's enough for Bath.
yeah, that will be enough. Unfortunately, Barth, you can see now, and you
Oh,
can
good.
see this just disgusting tentacle wrapped around you. You feel something latched like into your side. You look behind you and you see the face of what used to be a human with just this tentacle coming out of its mouth and wrapping around you. What would you like to do?
Run, screaming. Can I cast Hold Monster?
Sure.
So he needs to make a Wisdom saving throw against my save DC, which is 15.
Oh, I use Woe. I looked into the stars last night and I rolled odd numbers, so I can use Woe twice as a reaction to give someone a d6 against their saving throw. So I'm going to give it to the monster.
Okay.
And he gets -5 to his attempt.
Nice.
Nice.
All right, let's see what this is. -5. This is wisdom?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I rolled a 6. I already have a -3, and now a -5 on top of that.
So you got
So-
-2.
Well spent. Well spent.
This fails a whole
Uh-huh.
lot.
He's
Okay.
paralyzed for the duration.
Sounds good. We will see how that plays out in a moment. Sepha sprints in, and you see she just latches on to this creature's ankle, just bites down, just growling, kind of shaking her head. You see, this is when you notice the spells don't seem to be doing a whole lot. Slamming into it doesn't seem to be reacting, and as soon as Sepha bites down into this leg and rips, you see flesh just come off like a super tender chicken leg. Just the flesh is just ripped off of this thing a little easier than it probably should be. Naya, you are up.
Okay. I would like to run in. And can I still take an attack action?
Yeah.
Okay, then I will shoot it with an arrow. Try to get a sneak attack. (18 plus 8), so that's a 26 to hit.
Yeah, that hits.
Okay. So how many sneak attack dice do I have? I think it's 5. 6. Okay.
Damn.
So the damage from the crossbow bolt is 9.
Okay.
66. There's another. Oh, I have 3 ones on there. 16. So 25.
Dang. Nice.
Okay,
All right.
Right, people.
Yeah, so Naya rushes in, kind of pushes up against the side to still just blend in with these shadows over here and kind of stay out of the brighter of the light from Tati. Brings up the crossbow, fires. You see this crossbow bolt slam. It goes, Barth, it goes like right past your ear and slams directly into this thing's neck. You hear just a little gurgle and like the eyes widen as it's just, you see it stabbed like all the way through. and it starts thrashing around a little bit. It still has its tentacles like around Barth currently, but it started kind of thrashing around. That definitely hurt it a lot. Is that your turn?
I will try to hide.
Okay.
As a bonus action.
Sure.
The 21.
All right. And then Naya just pushes up against the wall even further and disappears in the shadows. Ephraim, you're up.
Okay, so I will run in. How far away are we from like in the outside to the cave itself? Like what's the distance? Is it more than 30 feet?
I imagined you were kind of right in front of this cave when you were checking out all of the tracks. So like 15 feet tops.
Awesome. I will move into the cave.
Okay.
And at that point with dark vision, I can see the creature, yes?
Yes.
Is there space behind the creature?
A little bit.
Excellent. I will Misty Step behind it.
Perfect.
And then I will raise Beatrice and I go, so sorry, darling. And I will, because now I'm like right behind it. So I just like press the revolver like right up against the monster's head.
Okay.
And I go, Bath, if you can, move your face. No, like, as I'm like, yes, move this. It's going to get messy. Hopefully. Okay, so which one do I want to use? Oh, come on. That's not bad. Okay. Oops, that was a 16 on my die. And I'm just going to use a normal round because you said magic was not a thing right now.
Correct. Correct.
I will use just a.
Although you wouldn't really know that.
I wouldn't know that. That's true.
What did you roll to hit?
16 plus 8.
Okay, yeah, that hits.
I'm just gonna use a regular round. And so that's a 1d10. 1d10. That's a 10 on the die.
Nice.
1d10 plus 2, 12 damage for my first hit.
All right.
And I will go, well, that was good. Let's try another. And I just rack another round in, and that's
Sure.
13 plus 8.
That hits.
And that is 5 more damage.
All right.
Is that part of your
All right, so
class that you can do a spell and 2
Yep.
attacks?
The spell is a bonus action, and I can do 2 attacks.
That's
Okay.
cool, man.
That's per turn. Yep, I
Um,
can
Mine is
use.
still
Okay,
very
so-
good at one thing.
Yep, I can use my spells. Yes. Yep, as a bonus action. Yep, bonus action. Misty Step is a bonus action.
all right. So Barth, you get a really good view of both of these shots as you are being held almost like underneath this thing's face. You see chunks of its head just being blasted outwards towards this cave entrance. But you still feel the tentacle attached to you, and it's still like there's just this like suctioning feeling.
It's like a
on
leech.
the tentacle.
Oh, God.
Ugh. Leeches!
Parasite.
Speaking of stand by me. No, leeches.
Okay. Now, Barth, you feel the suctioning of this tentacle just pulling. You feel it pulling, but it's not pulling blood. You're starting to feel a little bit weaker. Mechanically, I need you to mark off one of your highest level spells.
Can the creature do that if the hold monster is still in effect?
It's not in effect.
Oh,
Yeah,
it didn't just.
it
Oh,
failed.
okay. Damn.
I have just sucked a year of your life. Tell me, how does it feel?
So wait, my 6th level spell I have to mark off, like.
Correct.
That's
As if you've used
rough.
it.
That's rough.
Oh, okay. So I'm just burning the spell slot. It's
Correct,
pulling
yeah.
the spell slot.
It's eating your spell slot, more or less, yeah.
Ah!
You just feel just suctioning, siphoning magic from you. And you're a little preoccupied with that, but the rest of you see a figure shamble out from the one of the more darker portions of this cave. It walks out, and you imagine this is the thing Parker saw. You see, again, I'll send you a photo, but you see humanoid legs, and then the torso seems to bubble up into something that is just no longer human.
It's an abomination.
You see it shamble out. Good news is it can't see you. Bad news is it probably doesn't have to. And as it shambles out in your direction, it just kind of turns and it like puts its claws out, and you can just see these long fingernails that have like just sharpened into claws on this thing. And it stands there before you. And at this time, Parker is finally running in behind you. He runs in, skids to a stop at the sight of Barth being just held by this thing, and he's like, "Oh my god, what is that?" And that is Parker's turn. So, moving on to back up to the top, Tati, Barth, and Sepha. What would you like to do? Sepha's going to take another bite.
I just got to learn some new spells with my new level, and I'm just like, ooh.
Can I move any of my arms or anything, or am I completely grappled?
I'll say you have an arm free at least.
Okay.
You are considered restrained right now.
Right. Can I grab my dagger and slice this thing that's sucking my magic from me?
Sure. Let me double check restrained.
I might be at a disadvantage though, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, Sepha goes to bite onto the leg again, and as she goes to bite on, she just bites like what's left of the boot on this creature and just pulls the boot off instead of any flesh. So.
Both of them were the same roll, and I only rolled a 14.
Okay, yeah, you're trying to stab the flesh. Are you trying to stab like the tentacle itself?
I'm trying to stab the thing that's like.
Yeah, it is bizarre. It's like a rubbery exterior, so when you stab, the knife just kind of slips off, and you're like, what? It's just a little bit harder to make contact with that one. Tati.
I really wanted to do something clever, but unfortunately, I'm not allowed. The spell won't allow it. So, I will instead. Did Barth just break free then?
No.
Dang. So I've seen in great despair how little my magic is doing. So Tadia like panics for a second and thinks, right, so only natural stuff is going to get this guy. I draw my quarterstaff and looking it longingly because this is not what it was made for. But I'm going to go bonk him, I think. And I'm going to go run up to this thing and give it a great big bonk on its head.
Drop it.
Yeah.
Yeah, drop it. No.
Okay.
No.
Bad.
Now, it's been so long since I haven't played a spellcaster. I'm not entirely sure how hitting things work with things that aren't spells. So, a natural melee attack is my strength plus my proficiency to hit, right?
Yeah.
I believe that's how it goes.
Cool. So that's a 19 to hit.
19 hits.
Nice. So the damage of a quarterstaff if I'm holding it in two hands is 1d8. So I shall do that. That's a 5 plus. Do I add my strength to that?
Is it strength or dex?
I think Dex is for finesse weapons.
Right. I think you're right. Yeah.
Cool. So that is 6 damage. And then as a bonus action, I will fire my archer's arrow in my starry form, which is magic, but it's still worth it.
Okay.
That's a natural 1, and so the universe is balanced once again. What goes around comes around, you know?
Roll damage on that.
Roll damage on. Oh no, here we go. Sorry, boss.
Tati, right in his leg.
Very diabolical.
So that's a 1 plus a 2 plus a 5, so that's only 8 damage.
Okay.
Oh, boss.
How do you want to do this, Todd?
I messed this up.
What I'm gonna do. You're all in this cave. I'm gonna say this. Basically, since it's not affecting this creature, it hits the creature, but it's gonna bounce off, and it's going to hit one of you instead. So I'm gonna roll a d4 to see which one of you that hits.
Fair.
It hits Ephraim.
It bounces off, it comes back, and it hits me in like.
Ding, 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 ding. Yeah.
So that's
We're
what
all
was
just
that,
watching
8?
it like.
8 damage. 8 damage.
There's a moment where everybody's like, whoa.
Tati! That hurt!
Sorry!
Oh man.
He just sounds like an arrow like in his leg now. I'm just like, oh, it's gonna
Oh no, it's
smart.
like a golden bolt of radiant energy.
Oh great, good. It just
Yeah.
went in and through and cauterized on its way.
Tati is well out of their comfort zone at this point.
Just holding the quarterstaff like, what do I do?
Yeah.
All right, Naya, you are up.
Okay, so from my hiding spot, I would like to try to shoot the monster in the tentacle.
Okay.
Do I need to, would that be a disadvantage because it's a called shot, or? Because I'm at advantage from being hidden, so it could like cancel each other out, basically.
I will say yes, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, that's a 26.
Yow, that is crazy.
Yep, that'll do it.
Holy cow.
So the bolt is gonna do 6, and then the sneak attack. $16 again. So 22 more.
All right. Tell me what this death looks like.
Awesome. Okay, so Naya has been angry since the fight with the robot about not being able to sink her arrow shots, so she's been practicing, and it's gonna go like right across Barth's nose, but not not hit him, but he's gonna feel the swoop of it, and it's just gonna go straight into the tentacle and basically like out, like in the mouth basically, and then out the back of the humanoid's head.
Oh god, I'm right behind.
Yeah, it actually like pins it to the cave wall, and the tentacles just relax, and Barth slumps down onto the ground below. It's still like
Depends on
it's
how
weird.
high up, because if my feet are off the ground, I'll probably fall into the ground.
I feel
Fall
like
down.
I'm like right behind this monster, and she shoots, and I just kind of do the thing, and just like look back, going, oh, like not another arrow.
Yeah, and
Said fire across her nose, not up it.
and Barth, you still feel the tentacle mouth latched on, but it's no longer like siphoning anything.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay, Ephraim, you're up.
I just see this and I go, nice shot.
Thank you.
I will see the large bulbous monster. What do I do? I'm gonna test something. I will fire a Eldritch Blast at it just as a test. Let's just go with that. That is, it's cocking, so sorry. It's not too bad, but it's not great. 8, 7, 14, 15 to hit.
That hits.
Excellent. And that is a 1d10, 1d10. Let's see here. 7 plus 3, so 10 damage.
Okay. And you fire that out of the gun, correct?
Always, yeah.
Yeah, so the this weird tentacle creature gets pinned up against the wall. You just sidestep out of the way, you bring up the gun, and you fire at this other shambling creature. The Eldritch Blast.
It's 3 of them, I think.
3.
Yeah, I think it's 3 of them. I always get confused. I barely play warlocks, so.
Yeah, I think you have to roll to hit for each of them.
Each of them. Okay, we'll just do this one. That's okay. Go ahead. I'm sorry. I interrupted.
No worries. Yeah, so this first blast slams into it. You see one of these like bulbs, basically. This Eldritch Blast slams into it and it like implodes on itself. And it now turns, and it's not looking at you. It doesn't have a face, but it has turned to full face in your direction.
Okay, I will fire 3 more at it because I think that's, or you know what? We're just gonna call it that as 1 for my 1 action, and I'll just do this next one as a regular thing. So yeah, total beams is 3. So yeah, this one, first one, is a natural 1. The second one is a 5. I'm changing up my die. And no, none of them hit. Well, I mean, it's a natural 1 plus 7, which is an 8. Then a 5 plus 7 is a 12. And then 5 plus 3 is another 8. So.
Yeah, you are. And these blasts are also like providing just a little bit more of just this like eldritch light. As well, like with like gunfire, it's just like popping with each of these eldritch blasts, and it's just kind of disorienting you. But with each blast, you see this mound kind of taking one step closer with each one. All right,
like that. That'll be my turn because I don't think I have any other bonus actions. No, I don't.
All right. So all of you watch as this creature shambles toward Ephraim, raises up its razor-sharp claws, and is going to take 2 of these slice attacks against him.
It looks like a walking cauliflower.
I was just going to say that.
A 25 and a 19.
Yes, I only have a 14 armor class.
All right. It is going to be 21 points of slashing damage for both of these. As they slice into you, you watch blood just spatter onto the cave floor and the cave wall from Ephraim as this creature just rushes up and does 2 quick slices all across his chest.
21 altogether or 42?
21 altogether.
Okay. Oof. That hurt.
And it is now Parker's turn. Parker, standing here, first seeing this tentacle monster being taken down so fast, he's like, oh my god, that was, about to say, like, that was awesome. And then this other creature shambles over and just slices into Ephraim, and he goes, oh, that's what I saw. And that is Parker's turn.
Thanks, Parker.
Thanks, buddy. Thanks.
Do you want him to come fight?
No.
No. We're keeping the prince safe.
Oh yeah. Next turn.
At least somebody is. I don't know if I am.
Oh man.
Back up to the top. Tati and Barth, you're up.
Cool. I'd like to move up beside Ephraim.
Okay.
So I'm within 5 feet of the creature. I want to cast Gust of Wind.
Okay.
It's going to have to make a strength saving throw or be pushed 15 feet away from us both.
All right. That's a
Whoa,
thir-
it gets a negative number. It gets a negative 6.
Okay. Yeah, it fails.
Oh, you want me to roll before? Did you about to say 3?
I rolled an 11 on the die. So
Yeah, fair.
Yeah.
It's worth it. You know, I got them. I might as well use them.
yeah. do
Cool.
it.
So I'm pushing it away from us, 15 feet away from us both, and hopefully as far in the opposite direction of the entrance.
Okay. Yeah, basically you would be pushing it back into the dark little corner that it came
Came from.
out of. You see its feet planted and it's just like scraping the dirt as it's pushed back right into the shadows.
So it's like at the back of the cave where there's like stalagmites and stalactites like all in the cave.
You actually don't see any formations in here. It's just like a oval.
Mm-hmm.
Almost
Well-
like it was like hand dug in here in places.
Is there anything else in the room that we're in? Is it just like fleshy dead guy at my feet and then this cauliflower dude across the way?
Yeah, as far as you can tell.
Okay.
I'm gonna use my bonus action to shoot the archer arrows at the roof above it,
Okay.
because magic ain't gonna work, but stone and soil might. And try.
Yeah.
Should I
Alright.
roll for damage or?
Yeah, go ahead and roll that damage.
Okay. A 2 and a 4 and a 5, so 11.
Okay. All right, noted. Barth.
Barth is going to get his crossbow out and shoot cauliflower right at cauliflower
Okay.
now that he's away from people.
Mm.
Yeah, Barth stands up and brings it up. So yeah, I'll say it would have been shadowed, but with Tati kind of standing right there, it's gonna provide that light now that Tati has moved forward, so it's not at disadvantage or anything.
The first one is a 10.
10 total?
Yeah.
Yeah, that misses.
And the second is a 13.
13 just hits.
All right. For 7 damage, piercing damage.
7 piercing damage. Okay. All right, you watch as one of these bolts slam into one of these, like, strange, what you're realizing are sacks of some sort. As this arrow pierces it, stuff kind of like squirts out and begins running down this creature's body as the arrow is stuck in it.
Nasty.
I was like, please don't let it be spiders. Please don't let it be spiders.
It's all spiders.
All right, is that your turn?
Yes. That is my turn. I'm staying where I am.
All right. You see Cepha turn towards this thing with like a really angry sense of recognition, and Cepha immediately just moves to stand between it and Parker, and is just standing there waiting, kind of crouched down as if she's ready to pounce.
Okay.
Naya, you're up.
So did we determine from the Eldritch Blast that this one is also resistant to magic?
It seemed to have an effect on it.
It did. Okay. Can I see? Do I have a good sight on it from my current hiding space, or do I need to move? From being pushed back.
No, you have a pretty good sight on it.
Okay, then I'll just stay hidden and fire again since it has been working. So it's a 19 to hit.
That hits. And this is just the crossbow?
Yeah.
Okay.
So 6 from the crossbow. And come on, let's get something else besides a 16 this time. 17.
Hey, you said you wanted something different.
So 23.
All right.
And I'll hide again as my bonus action.
Yeah, so Barth's arrow slams into this thing. You watch one of them pop, and you're like, there's a moment where you're, ew. And then you see another arrow slam into it a little bit higher up on one of the bigger pus balls, basically. Slams into that, and this actually like pops and explodes up. You see stuff hit like the cave ceiling, spatters down at Ephraim and Barth's feet. Or Ephraim and Tati's feet, just slamming, it's disgusting. It's gross. You're not sure what it is. It's not like sizzling or anything like that, but it's disgusting. Okay, and that is that. Ephraim, your turn.
Question, how far away is Cauliflower Man from everybody? Would you say he's 15 to 20 feet away from us?
Yeah, because you only pushed him back
15.
15 feet, so yeah, probably be about 15, 20.
I'll yell to everybody, I need everybody to take 5 to 10 feet steps back.
So are you holding your action?
Yes, until everybody moves back. And
Okay.
I will prepare Fireball.
Okay,
3rd level.
noted.
In a tiny room like this.
We should probably head out of the cave then. Because I'm not getting another 21 points of damage.
It's
So just cinematically here, is your gun beginning to like build up and like glow in like a fiery,
Unless somebody comes over and like puts a hand on my shoulder or something.
like a fiery orange, and you're like, we should probably exit the cave.
Yes.
Got it.
Oh, hell.
oh boy.
Okay.
Oh boy.
Holding your turn, it is now my turn. And
I'm gonna die. 42 points of damage. Ephraim is down.
so you are the last one that spoke, and you see this creature like square up and then shamble in your direction again, and is gonna go ahead and take 2 slices towards Ephraim.
The gust of wind is still maintained, so
Oh, it's still
being pushed. So how fast can this creature move?
That's an excellent question. 30 feet.
Okay,
That's my best.
then yeah, he can reach us.
Okay.
Only just though.
Oh, I dropped my dice on the floor and it landed on a 1. Okay. Yeah, so you see it like, it was a quick shamble, but you see it like pushing through this wind now, and as it's pushing through, it raises up one arm and then slices twice quickly. So a 19 plus will hit, and then the other one was just a 9. So I think we're good on that one. But this first one is going to hit you for 15 points of slashing damage.
Oh man. Oof. Well,
We'll say this first one here, instead of a slice, it goes to slice, but its effort of pushing through this wind, it goes for more of a stab, and you see it like it stabs through your shoulder and out the other side, and that kind of throws it off for the second one, and it slices, but it only hits like armor or clothing across the chest here. So just that one hit, and it is now like standing there, one claw stabbed into Ephraim.
Oh, I'm at half at the moment, like. between two champ cauliflower man in my own party. Kidding me?
Don't want us to leave the cave?
I would say that I'm a little holy at the moment. I'm a little worse for wear.
All right. At this point, you do hear a sword unsheath as Parker takes out his sword and rushes forward, and he is going to go to try to slice into the arm that is currently stabbing into you as it is held out here, trying to like cut that arm off, basically.
Arthur's gonna turn to everybody and say, "Who gave that kid a sword?"
And when I say sword, it is
like
a weapon that's like between a dagger and a short sword. Like it is definitely, it's very small.
Gave that kid a sword?
What madman gave him a sword? I blame his father.
Yeah, you watch as Parker rushes over, slams down on this arm, and it cuts into it, but it wasn't quite enough force to like cut through bone. So it sliced into the arm and just stopped. And he's just standing there with his sword like stuck in the creature's arm currently.
And I look down at Parker and I go, "Thank you, but please run."
He's like, oh crap. And that is Parker's turn.
Oh, no.
Oh, well, I'm just trying to figure out with Gust of Wind. It's concentration up to 1 minute. Do I need to recast the spell to get the monster to do the saving throw again?
I would say yes if your goal is to push it back again. It would have to be recast for like a new Gust of Wind to push it back.
I'm definitely going to do that because these
Okay.
guys need a bit of space. So I'm 100% going to do that.
I rolled an 11 again. So,
Perfect.
yeah.
I'm glad.
Like dislodge from my shoulder.
So, it also, as it's being pulled away, manages to like dislodge Parker's sword as well. So it like yanks Parker for a moment, but then he still has his weapon in his hand. So yeah, you have a gaping wound in your shoulder. Parker has his weapon, and this creature is pushed back against the wall once again.
For my interaction in my bonus action, can I get out a flask of oil and just drop it in the stream? Or is that too much?
Just a flask of oil, and you just
Drop
Sure.
it in the stream. Yeah?
sure.
One hand with the gust, the other hand just drop it in the stream, carried by the air.
Oh, okay,
Oil
okay,
all over the monster.
gotcha.
I'm gonna do 2 more crossbows.
Okay,
So nat 20 on the first one,
Ooh,
Nice.
Nice.
which is 15 damage for the first one.
okay,
And the second one is a 21, so that will hit for another 11.
okay. Yeah, you watch this crossbow bolt again slam like right next to the first one that you shot, and then one slam right in front of it as just all of this different colored like green and yellow liquid and just pus is just spilling from these wounds.
As a bonus action, I'm going to cast Healing Word at 3rd level for, well, I guess it's a 60-foot range. So Healing Word, it's 3rd level, so for 11 heals for people.
Okay.
Yes, please.
All
That's the
right.
end of that's and I should probably move towards the exit since that's what Efren told me to do.
Okay.
All 25 feet of it.
All right. Tati, are you moving as well?
Yes, I will.
Yeah, after that gust and the oil,
Mhm.
just kind of start backing over towards the.
If I've got 30 feet, I'll take them.
Okay. Sepha immediately charges forward to join Parker's side. And Naya, you're up.
So my protective instinct over Parker kicks in because he reminds me of my brother. So I'm gonna get out of my hiding place and put my body in between him and the cauliflower man, and I'm gonna help him dislodge his axe from, or is it an axe, right?
It was a little sword, but it did
A sword.
dislodge whenever
Oh, it did?
Whenever he was pushed. Yeah.
Okay, good. Oh, that's right, because the thing got pushed back from Parker. So I'm just gonna I'm gonna put my body between Parker and the monster, and I'm gonna tell Parker to run out, and then I will. What will I do? I'm going to. I'm not hidden anymore. I'm actually gonna fire a firebolt
Okay.
at it. $13 hits.
13 just hits.
Or 3d10.
Oof.
14 damage.
Did anybody want air fried cauliflower?
Who ordered this?
Cauliflower au flambe.
Delicious.
Yeah, so you watch this firebolt slam into this creature. You watch two of these like bubbles implode into each other as this happens, and you see like the skin looks burned and charred. The skin that like was covering those bubbles pushed in, charred, burned. Okay, is that your turn?
Yeah, if Parker's still standing there, then I'm not moving.
Okay.
It had oil on it too, right? So wouldn't the fire from the
Uh,
firebolt?
Hopefully still be on it.
Tati, roll a d20 for me.
Yep. It's a 15. Do I add
Okay.
anything?
I'm gonna have Naya roll the firebolt damage again.
Nice.
Nice.
6.
Okay.
6 damage from 3d10.
Oh boy.
Oof.
It's alright, just a little added extra.
Little kick.
Okay. Yeah, so as this firebolt hits it, the like bubbles cave in and it's like charring the skin, but then you watch as the whole shoulder is like on fire. A fire ignites, and as the fire is moving up, it is popping other bubbles all the way up it as it is doing that. It smells awful.
Oh,
Just-
good.
Side note, smells
Awesome.
terrible.
Yeah.
Not like cauliflower. Not like
Cauliflower.
Not like
And
cauliflower.
Ephraim, you are up.
So I will, and I'm ready. I will go as a bonus action. I'll take the gun that is already glowing red hot, and I will just stick it on the side of my wound to cauterize my wound first. And I will, as a bonus action, I will cast Second Wind. That's 1d10 plus 6.
Well done with that description. That was good. That was really good.
So that's
You get an imaginary Benny.
10. So I get 10 points of heal. Thank the Lord. And at this point, has everybody moved out of the... No. Oh,
No,
boy.
because
Parker-
Parker came up.
Parker and Naya are still standing right here.
Arthur
Cool.
was told, but he's not. He's so slow that he can't even get out the.
Belts. At this point, I see that they're not at a safe distance. I'll do the same thing as Naya, and I will cast Scorching Ray. But I will do it at 3rd level.
Okay.
Let's see here. That is a 19 plus 7 for Scorching Ray.
Oh yeah, that hits.
It's each ray though.
Each right. Okay, so that's 19. That is a 5 plus. Nope, that's 12. That won't hit. And that's cocked. And that one is a 11 plus 7, 18. So 2 of them hit. Okay, and that's 2d6 for each of those. So that's 6. Let's see here. Come on now. 6 and 7. So 13. 13 damage altogether. 5.
All right.
That's that's both actions because well, no, no, because what? Second wind is a bonus action.
Bonus
so I get
action.
one. So I will then send a Eldritch Blast at it. That's my second attack. First, no.
No.
Second one is a 19 to hit altogether, and third of that is an 18 and plus 7 to hit.
Okay.
So 1d, 2d10s. Here we go. So,
Tati, roll a d20.
Oh boy.
16, 17, 20.
That is a 7.
17, 23 altogether for the Eldritch Blasts. I will limp my way towards the entrance of the cave.
All right. So this fire spell kind of hits the other side of it where the oil doesn't quite catch as well. So the spell does hit, but it doesn't ignite the other shoulder or anything.
Oh, you know, I keep forgetting Agonizing Blast. Oh, it's okay.
And as you're moving out, it is now
It's turn.
its turn.
Where did everybody go?
I was just having some fun. Come on back, guys.
All right. So it now hit by all of these things. Hears you moving.
Oh, God.
And kind of turns and is going to try to get a grasp on who is where. So I'm going to have Naya make a stealth roll. I'm going to have Parker make a stealth roll. I'm going to have Cepha make a stealth roll. And go ahead and Ephraim also make a stealth roll just for...
Surely. Oh, yeah. That's what I'm talking about.
I got a 27.
That is a 18 altogether. 16 plus 2.
But if it goes for Parker, I would fling myself in front.
Okay. All right. So, tell me, Naya, what this scene looks like as this creature turns in its direction. Parker, takes almost an involuntary step back out of fear and crunches into the dirt below, and you see the creature square up in Parker's direction and sprint to begin to make 2 slashing attacks against him.
So Naya, instinctively, goes to hide, expects Parker to do the same thing. And then when she sees that he has stumbled back, she's gonna, not just jump in front of him, but, push him out of the way. Kind of like a jump, a dive, just to...
All right.
She'll probably be, pushing him and sort of in the air when the thing gets to her.
Okay, so I rolled both attacks against you, and both of them were natural ones.
Oh my god!
Nice.
I am not even kidding. I rolled the first one, I'm like, ah, damn, natural one. Rolled the second one, okay, that's another natural one. So, usually on natural ones, that is the worst possible scenario. So you would be able to cause harm to this creature. I will also say from like a metagaming perspective, this creature has 4 hit points left. So, for those natural ones, Naya, how would you like to kill this creature?
So I think this is going to be like old school, and so I think what actually happens is that when I go up to try to like push Parker out of the way, it kind of pushes me back enough that when it swings, it misses. And so sort of like mid-air, she's just gonna freaking punch it.
Nice.
Yes, just punch. You hear it. You feel your fist go into one of these bubbles, and it just pops. And as it does so, it's blood that comes out instead. And as you pull your fist away, you see this creature like stumble backwards. I am going to have. So Barth probably hasn't made it out of the cave, correct?
No, I'm just like sort of probably by the doorway-ish. Like I'm
Yeah.
close, but I'm not there yet.
Ephraim, did you leave the cave?
No, I'm
Still in the
just
cave?
I'm still like limping my way out of the cave.
Okay, Tati, are you still in the cave?
I'd say I'm about at the entrance because I want to
Okay.
make sure
I
we
was
can see
like,
what's going
That
on.
everybody gets out. Okay. All right. So as this creature is pushed away, it like slams up against this back wall, and you watch as every single one of those bubbles that had caved in begin to pulse outward. You see one pulsing with fire, another one pulsing with fire, another one pulsing with eldritch energy, and then you watch as its whole body pulses and explodes. I'll have all of you make a dexterity saving throw.
Oh no.
fucked. Dexterity. So 13 altogether.
I got a 23.
Barth
Got
got
an
a
eight.
17.
What was Tati's?
8.
Okay. The DC was 16.
Mm,
So,
on brand for me. On brand for me this session.
all right. So here is what happens. This creature pulses and pulses. Naya, Parker, and Sepha have a better view of this and are able to prepare for it a little bit more. Naya is able to kind of fling over and land down on the ground, kind of using the tentacle being's body as a partial cover here. And Parker doesn't have a chance to react. Sepha knocks Parker down and completely covers Parker from whatever attack this is going to be. So those of you closer to the entrance of this cave, as this magical damage explodes outward, you see a mix of your familiar Eldritch Blast energy and all the fire energy that had been pushed into this thing. You watch it explode outward. It completely obscures Naya, Parker, and Sepha. You can't see them. And as it pushes out, the three of you have a chance to react. You kind of fling yourselves out of the cave, but this fire and eldritch energy still slams into you. Those that succeeded take 30 points of damage.
If I evade,
That halves that, correct?
actually, I think normally when I succeed,
Oh, when you succeed, you take
when you
0.
succeed, you take
take
zero.
0.
Yeah, so you're able to, the body over you completely takes the entire force of this. Those that failed, you take 60 points.
I'm at 3.
Oh my god.
Whoa.
I'm literally at 3.
And as this blast occurs and then everything falls silent again, your ears are ringing, and you can hear little chunks of the earth just still crackling from the magical fire in various places. And we are out of combat.
I'm smoldering at the
Is
moment.
Parker okay?
Same.
You immediately push the body off of you. You look over and you see like Parker sitting up and Sepha's fur is singed and you can hear her whining, and he just looks over and he's just petting her, and you kind of you hear him start to cry as he's just petting Sepha, and he's like, it's okay, you're okay. And
Oh,
he's
shit.
just petting her.
But she's still alive.
She is alive. She is bloody in many places currently.
Who needs heals?
Same here. I can heals.
Doggo needs heals.
Okay, I'm gonna
Okay.
do mass cure wounds at
Oh,
sweet.
at 5th level.
It's just about to do the same. That's awesome.
Yeah. So
Great minds think alike.
that's 14 heals for everybody.
Oh, thank you. I'm at 17. That helps.
I will also note, Naya, as you were looking over at Parker and Sepha, there was a moment where you're pretty sure Sepha was gone. But you see Parker, there's just something when he pet her. You saw a little glisten, almost like some sort of like magical glow under the fingertips. And then Sepha like opened her eyes just a little bit right before Barth. What does Barth's healing look like?
Well, I immediately took out my lute, and it's just a soothing, like healing melody, like kind of like lo-fi music in the background
Nice.
around us all.
Nice.
And it just a warm feeling of the vibrations like soaks into everybody's wounds and stitches them up magically.
Okay, yeah, and you watch Sepha's wounds heal, and she immediately stands up and shakes and just starts licking the tears off of Parker's face.
I would like to ask him about that. Parker, do you have healing magic?
No, I don't have any magic.
It looked like something transpired or something passed between you and Sepha just then.
He looks down at Sepha and I don't know.
Perhaps you have a gift that is yet untapped.
He looks at his hands. Maybe. He's definitely not his usual happy-go-lucky self right now.
So knowing
he's-
that, I'll just be like, well, that's something we can discuss later. We need to see if that was the only one. At that moment too, I remembered the thing in my pocket.
Mhm.
Okay, and I check for it.
Yeah, as everyone's kind of standing up and getting healed up and fixing their wounds and everything, Naya reaches into her pocket and you pull out the little wind chime that Samir had showed everyone.
Aw. So she kind of lets herself like smile about that for a second, like, and then very quickly realizes where she is and that everyone's covered in blood and slime and stuff, and then she puts it away.
At this point I'm like sitting up against the wall. I don't have enough strength in me to like even get up at this point. I need to I'm just like sitting there.
Yeah.
Happy to do another round of mass cure wounds if we need it.
If we wanted to take a short rest, I could do a song of rest as well.
Can we hear any noise remaining in the cave?
No, and even like looking around, taking lights and everything, this is it. This is the cave. It doesn't lead to anything else.
Okay.
And Parker stands up and he says, I don't know if there's more, but that was a lot. And he just kind of looks over towards the legs are still there. It's the torso that had exploded outward, so you can still just see the legs sitting over there. Maybe we could what's left of these things to the cart, and we bring them to my dad, and we can have more people look into this. And now he has to, and he just kind of looks over at Sepha and just kind of pets her again.
Yes, let's do that. I would like to motion to the others and tell them to load the creatures on the cart, and then look back at Parker and put my hand on his shoulder and say, "You were brave today."
He nods, and then there's a moment where the nod turns into him shaking his head. It's like, I was in over my head. This was stupid. We all could have died. You could have, and all of them. And he just kind of points out to the, the group heading out to go get the cart and everything.
We could have, but we didn't. And now perhaps this adventure will tide you over for a few years.
You hear Sepha grumble,
Just pat Sepha on the head too.
Yeah, you get the cart, and you put the legs and then the tentacle body kind of wrapped up in something, probably just in the cart, and Parker begins showing you the direction to Haven, which is where the location of the castle is. And it's a little while of travel with nothing, just the fields around you. Everyone's sure to rest up where they need rest, and we'll say this calm cart ride can be considered a short rest if anybody has anything they would like to change there.
If you're taking any hit dice during the short rest, I will sing a song of rest while it's happening, and you get an extra D8 of hit points.
Oh, nice.
Yes, I will take that short rest. I will use all my hit dice. Yes.
Tati, do you have any potpourri that we could sprinkle on these body parts? They really stink.
That's a very good question. I might just
And
have some.
why didn't do that? I don't understand.
I have a herbalism kit. I'm guessing there are various herbs within the herbalism kit.
Yeah.
Sweet. Then I will potpourri away.
Nice.
Start sprinkling stuff, smell better.
I also have the cantrip gust, and occasionally when the waft comes over towards, I just gust and waft it away. The cantrip gust.
Perfect. Is there any conversation or anything you wanted to handle on this cart ride? Because it does take a little while, but if you don't have anything specific, we can just montage it and cut to arriving at Haven.
I don't really
I'm just
have...
cleaning goop off of myself.
Yeah, same. I'm just cleaning stuff. I'm reloading Beatrice and kind of hurting and putting out all the stuff that is singed on me at the moment, and just yeah.
Perfect. And Barth, even though you're all healed up, you can see the bite mark of that tentacle just in your side. It's probably gonna leave a scar. It's pretty gross.
Chick stick scars.
I'll be right back, guys.
Okay.
I also just want to have small talk with the prince to try and keep his mind off of what's just happened, to sort of ground him back in reality again, and be just chatting about anything but adventuring.
I'm also gonna take out the wind chime and play it. Just
Yeah. Pretty music. Fills your ride there.
yeah.
Those of you that maybe didn't notice it before, notice it now.
Did it just arrive there in your pocket?
He must have, I don't know, slipped it in there. Another talent that I didn't know he had.
Interesting.
So, Tati, what was in your case file?
Oh, casual murder, upheaval of a kingdom, all that sort of stuff, destroying steamwork machines. The usual,
I knew it had to be something big.
Yeah.
What did you do?
Oh, what did I do? I got arrested. It seems silly, but I stole sort of junk parts from like a junk store and was reselling it back to the store, and I got arrested because they nailed me for selling them back to them. Like I had this scheme to.
You stole their stuff and sold it back to them?
Yeah, because I needed to get the money to help somebody out.
That is brilliant.
Did you ever think about selling it to a different store?
Didn't cross my mind at that point,
I see.
but I'm not very good at doing the bad things. But so I got caught doing that.
Well, that's not so bad. Who were you
No.
trying to help?
A orphanage in the town where I got caught.
An orphanage?
Yeah,
Aw.
they were down on their luck, and they were about to lose the orphanage, and I didn't want that to happen. So I was trying my best to figure a way where I could not be directly connected to helping them out, but I sort of bungled that up.
How would such a famous musician be in so desperate need of extra money?
I was trying to do it anonymously. Like I'm not completely well off. I mean, I'm well known, but not well off. If you know.
I get that.
Such a fine line between good and not good.
Yes. Yeah. So I tried my best to help that place, and I ended up not.
Parker says, well, maybe you still can.
Possibly. It'll be good.
You guys don't sound like criminals at all.
More like victims of circumstance.
Agreed.
We're just a bunch of folks trying our best. That's all it is. Just doing what we can,
Except for Tati, who's possibly a genocidal maniac. We don't know.
Possibly.
Who's
We
to
don't
know?
Don't
I'll be
let them
honest
near
with you
your
guys.
machines.
I've really had my life flash before my eyes one too many times hanging out with you guys. It's terrifying. Keeps you on
well-
edge.
We keep you interested. It's
Yeah,
keep
that's
keep
true.
you interesting.
That's true. It's been fun.
And I'll look down at my gun and be like, I think it's almost time.
Time for what?
For my deal to be done. And I just kind of flick my hand and it just like goes away in like a puff of purple smoke. I want to get back to my books. I do not want to do this any longer.
I want to go home too.
I want to go back to my library.
We'll get you guys home.
It seems like we both have the same goals, Naya.
I think that if I could find something to offer the other house that they might be willing to forgive and forget.
Well,
It's possible.
I
don't
will
think
I will say, if there's any way I can help, I'd be more than happy to.
Do you have any interesting, valuable artifacts?
I would probably say so. I do come from a well-to-do family.
That could work.
A very old. They're very old, and they have collected many things throughout the ages.
An old artifact from someone of your kind might be just the ticket. It's a long shot, but it could work if they were willing to take a replacement for the stupid idol that my brother stole that he didn't know was a family heirloom. Priceless.
Does your brother still have the idol?
I was about to say, does he still have it? Can we?
No, the fool threw it into a river. He got scared. He didn't want to get caught.
Oh, well, I have to ask my brother some things anyways. So maybe I'll just ask him in a certain way. Whilst you're leaving the kingdom, have you garnered any interesting artifacts?
It is around this time where you round a corner and you see Haven. You see there are no walls around Haven. There are no gates around Haven. There is one modest fence that just kind of keeps any wildlife from wandering in too easily. As you approach, there's a clear entrance, and going in, you see the guards immediately see Parker. Sepha hops down off the cart and just starts running beside the cart, stopping at all of her favorite spots for some vendors to give her snacks as she's kind of leading the cart in. Haven, while humble, is still very beautiful. There's great stonework that's more of made with care rather than with money. There are imperfections, but it is gorgeous. And there are certain parts of the road that kind of like bump up a little bit. It's not the smoothest, but it's beautiful. And you find yourselves riding straight through the entrance marketplace here. You kind of cut through, you move through an area that seems to be mostly inns and restaurants, and then you start moving up, kind of up a hill of sorts. As you're moving through more of the residential districts, you see homes, you see people playing outside, you see gardens being grown in the backyard, you see flowers. You pass by all of this, and as you're moving up, they do get wealthier as it's moving. It's clearly the wealthier homes are more closer to the castle itself. And as you get up to the castle, guards come by and they just begin to help you out of the castle, out of the cart. But as they approach the cart, they get the smell, and everybody covers their nose, and they're like, "Parker, what is this?" And Parker stands and says, "I will need these creatures carried in, please." And they reluctantly start grabbing these just sloppy, nasty smelling creatures out of the cart to carry them inside. They carry them in and they say, "Follow me." And all of you follow these guards into the castle, into one of the rooms. You see just one circular table. It looks like some sort of planning room or war room or something, and it's just a circular table. Everything's empty. There's nobody in here. All the chairs are empty currently. The guards walk in, slam these bodies down on the table, blood and just like pus and just this nasty liquid sprays out and begins like pooling around both of these bodies as they're thrown down, and the guards are just like looking at their hands and like, wait here, I'll let King Lucan know you're here. And they turn around and walk out. The doors close behind you, and it is just the four of you, Parker, Cepha, and these bodies in here right now. A fireplace does crackle on the other side, more for light than for warmth. Lanterns are lighting up all along the walls as well. Yeah, you are in here. You are waiting for the king.
This is not unfamiliar.
This is very unfamiliar. It's big and echoey. This is by far the most beautiful cave I've ever seen.
Comparative to the one that we were just in, yes.
You can see one of the body of the more tentacle-like creature. The tentacle itself is like pruning, like a raisin. It's just all pruning inward, and it's almost looking more like a rope now. And Parker's just like, "Oh, that's disgusting."
Parker, do you have anybody who's going to be able to take a look at these things?
What do you mean?
Like, is there somebody here at the castle that, like, will want to know about these things?
Yeah, my dad will take care of that. My dad knows some magic. My mom knows some magic.
But you don't know any magic, Parker.
Mm-mm.
That's a bit strange.
Yeah.
You never tried any magic?
I mean, of course I've tried. I've tried to, like, throw fireballs and stuff.
That's a little bit advanced. That's like not step one.
No, that's a bit advanced.
Well, I mean, I don't know. It'd be cool, but I feel like if I had magic, I would know by now.
How old are you, Parker?
15.
You've got a lot of road ahead of you. You never know what is down it.
When did you get your magic?
I was... How old is that from? I was 30.
30?
You've got to understand, 15 sounds really old to you because it's probably the oldest you've ever lived in your whole life.
That's true.
15 years is your whole life, so no wonder it feels like a lot. But by comparison, it's very, very small. I studied for years the stars and the skies before I got even a glimpse of magic. So yeah, 15 years feels like a long time, but trust me, it's really not. There is plenty of chance for you to have magic yet, don't you worry. Loads of time.
I suspect that you're close.
Mm.
Mm-hmm.
You kind of looks over at Cepha. At this point, the doors open again, and you see the king walk in. Tall, pretty tall man, human. You see blonde hair, just kind of cut pretty short, but still kind of pushed back, almost like a not particularly caring too much about his appearance necessarily. Kind face, but a very set expression. As he's walking in, you see a human woman walking beside him as well. She's a little shorter, and you see, while they are dressed like royals, there's something that's just very common about them. They're not wearing crowns, first of all. While they're in good clothing, they're not in like overly fancy clothing or anything like that. They walk in, and they immediately introduce themselves as Lucan and Myra. They don't say King Lucan, Queen Myra. I'm Lucan. Nice to meet you. And he holds his hand out to shake yours. Myra does the same, very relaxed. And then after introducing themselves to everyone, their heads both turn simultaneously to the creatures on the table. And the only surprise on their face seems to be like from the sight of the creatures, not the fact that there's creatures on their table, not the fact that, Parker brought in strangers with these creatures that they've thrown on the table. It is like there's no shock when they look at the creatures. It's when they start really looking at the creatures that they're like, wait, what is that? And you see them looking, they both take a step forward, they're like squinting. You see Lucan kind of take out a dagger and start like pushing pieces of the bodies up to like inspect a little bit better. And Parker is just standing up proudly, not speaking just yet, just letting them observe. He's kind of got this smug smile on his face, and he kind of crosses his arms, just watching. Parker, what is it? And they look over at Parker, and Parker finally like explodes with excitement. He's like, something new. They're like they were people, but they've been like inflicted with some sort of growth or like curse or something. Look. And he starts he then just like dives into talking about this one's legs. The top of it, this is what it looked like. And like he just goes into this huge description of explaining these creatures, and that one had him, and points to Barth, like wrapped up, and he was like sucking, like, I don't know, but it was so cool. I mean, it was terrible, but it was so cool. And he's just like diving into this huge explanation. Do any of you add anything to this?
I absolutely encourage him to keep going and be proud of what he's done, and sort of back him up like, oh yeah, absolutely. Oh, it was huge and gross. Oh man, it was nasty. Poor bath? No idea.
And I just
all that kind of stuff.
I point to myself. I go, this is what it has done.
I swear I'm not normally this gooey.
The only thing The only thing I add is I look Lucan directly in the eye and say, yes, I was grappled by that creature. And it did, and I show him my scar, and I say, when it was siphoning me, I could feel some of my magic being pulled from me. That's all I know about it.
I would add that your son is much braver than a boy of 15 ought to be. He was valiant, but also that we made sure to help protect him as well. Oh, sorry, that's me.
Excuse me, I have to take this.
Samir?
Samir.
We would not have let him come to harm, is what I am trying to get across.
And Parker's like nodding. Yeah, she saved me. I mean, no, we weren't really in that much danger. And they just hold up their hand. Myra goes to, turns towards the doorway, towards some of the guards, and she starts talking about launching a full investigation of the southern grounds. Lucan nods and orders for a full team to be assembled to do such a thing. As for you, Myra turns and looks at the four of you, and she says, you look a lot like the extremely dangerous criminals that Sluspania government made us promptly aware of. Parker's. They're my friends. They're not they're great, but they're not dangerous to us. To them they were. And he just points to the table. And Myra doesn't look fazed by anything that has been said, and Myra says, "You're pardoned. We'll get you your papers in the morning." And Parker's like, just like that?
Excellent.
And Myra says, "Just like that. Not only because you helped my son, but because Cepha let you anywhere near him." And Parker just pets her. Yeah, she's a really good judge of character.
Good job.
Nice puppy.
You can sleep in the castle. I don't want you at an inn where you could be recognized before you're properly pardoned. In the morning, we can arrange transport to wherever it is you would like to go. I assume you're all pretty far from home. Lucan adds, you can have whatever you'd like to eat. The cooks will bring your dinner in here. Best to keep a low profile until tomorrow, as Myra mentioned. But please enjoy your meal, and one of our guards will show you to your sleeping quarters afterwards. If you want to clean up, and he motions to a door like across the hall, you can do so in there. But please don't leave the castle. I don't want to deal with civilians panicking. And Lucan gives you all a little bow and turns and leaves, and then Myra just says, "Thank you for him." And she looks to Parker, nods as well, and walks out. And some of the guards come over to figure out what you want to eat, what they can what notes they can give to the cooks and everything like that.
I would like some soup.
I was just about to
No,
say. I
I was
knew
gonna
he
say-
was going to ask for soup. Somebody's going to ask for soup.
Soup does sound delicious.
We gotta have that soup,
Right.
you know. I'm feeling like there's a void
There's a void.
where soup should have been, but is not.
We should definitely start with soup. Yes.
Yes.
We were promised soup,
Hearty,
and we never got it.
delicious hot soup.
Yeah, so you watch as the bodies are taken away from the table. The table is like hand cleaned and then like magically cleaned, and you see them like the door's open. You're not locked in or anything by any means, but eventually some soup is brought to you, and it is absolutely delicious. It is everything you wanted it to be. It was well worth the wait.
Excellent.
And Parker is still in here, just sitting with you. And you notice that the cooks, they bring a bowl for Cepha. Like, they just know by now they have brought soup for Cepha, and Cepha like sits and starts lapping some of it up.
That is so cute.
While Parker is eating, he does say, I don't really know if I said thank you, but thank you, because I could not have done that without you. There's no way, no matter how awesome Cepha is. So seriously, thank you for taking me seriously and for not. I mean, I know you really didn't feel like you had much of a choice, but it means a lot. So
Thank you, Parker. Without you, who knows where we'd be? Probably arrested and back on our way somewhere else.
Very true.
So where will you go?
Well, now that I'm going to be a free man again, home, I would hope. I have some family business to attend to.
I want to go home too, but I feel like I've lived in one place for so long. I had a good life, but I also have a bit of a taste for adventure now.
I was going to say, I like my found family. My real family was not very good to me. I would like to right a wrong and then continue to see the rest of the world for what it has to offer. Maybe some of my friends that I have made along the way would like to join me.
Do make a pretty good team.
We do. I've got a lot of work to get back to at home. A lot of work ahead of me. Yeah, I don't know if I'm going to be able to join you for your adventure. There's a lot of work to be done. But, I've had a great time, and I really appreciate everything you guys are doing. But unfortunately, my work didn't end with the arrest. So I'll be going back to the desert for me.
Ephraim will lean in a little bit and go, Tati, what kind of work is it exactly that you're doing?
Pest control.
Pest control.
Yeah.
What kind of pests are we speaking of? Big ones, little ones? Some the
Well.
size of your head.
Unfortunately, they come in all sizes. So anyway, that's what I'll be doing. I'll be heading home back to the desert, I think, once we are pardoned.
Well, perhaps we can all go home and set things right, and then who knows? Maybe we can meet up again.
It would be wonderful. What say you, Bard?
Oh, a bard like me doesn't have a home to go to, really. I just have another inn to play in another town. So I guess I will take my loot and shuffle from one place to the next, singing a song. Maybe
Well,
finding more adventure.
Well, I will say, as long as things go correctly, you'll always have a permanent gig in my family's estate.
I will make sure to visit.
Call it a permanent residency whenever you need.
Sounds good.
You all finish eating, and you are shown to your rooms. They are so cozy. They are, while not like overly decorated or anything like that, they're the most comfortable beds you've ever slept in your life.
I was wondering
Just
if, like, we were able to talk in the evening away from royalty and guards and princes and dogs.
Yeah, you can do that before you go to sleep if you'd like.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I look around and I say, Naya, you've been asking a lot about what I've been up to, how I got arrested. We've got like a minute, and I think it would be good to tell someone before we all go our separate ways, I guess, and it's all back to the desert and away from civilization.
I would be
You
honest.
said you were looking for more adventure, and I could kind of use some help.
Really?
The desert's on fire. People have come, and they've set up machines, and these machines are plunging iron rods into the veins of the earth, and they're pulling its blood out for, I guess, those flying machines we were on. When I cast spells, you know those lizards, the geckos? They're called the bow-tailed geckos, and they're gone now. They're gone. They've been boiled alive by these machines. I could really use some help. I was joking on the caravan about murder. Half joking. No matter how many you get rid of, they always come back with more infernal machines. And I could really use your help with pest control. Or anyone's help, if they're up for it. The geckos are gone, they're just gone now. And without them, the foxes have nothing to eat, and they'll all die a slow, painful death. they'll starve to death. And no matter how many machines you remove or how many men you kill, they keep coming back. And I could really use some help.
I'm
You're
honored
talking-
that you shared this with me. And yes, I mean, I don't even need to think about it. I will come with you.
Thank you.
Thank you for
You've got to
sharing that with
understand
me.
the insult. They used my desert, its iron and its oil and its steam to build those flying machines. And when they arrested me, the first thing they did was put me inside one.
Oh no. So this is a great power that we're up against?
I don't know. It could be a local nation, a local lord. It could just be a factory, a single factory making these metal machines. I've got no idea, but if currency makes the world go round, they've got a lot. I'm going to ask the rest of the guys at some point when there's not all these kings and queens watching if they would be up for helping too. I appreciate the ear. Thanks for joining me.
I understand, and I suspect that the others will understand as well and be willing to help.
Well, yeah, hopefully. I know the others are eager to get back. Ephraim's got his books and Bob's got his music. But if you're looking for an adventure, then maybe I can help out. Cool.
Count me in.
And with that, I just go to bed.
Yeah, and that's when Naya Sepha is following you into your room.
I let him right in.
Sepha's just like, do. Parker's like, what? Okay, good night. Parker goes to his room. Sepha just hops into your bed. Like, all right, here we go. So you have just this huge, wolf dog sleeping in your bed with you. The next morning, you wake up. There's breakfast downstairs. Lucan and Myra are waiting for you with some sort of mage. They seem to have drawn like teleportation sigils on the floor, but they're just waiting to finish based on where each of you would like to go. You are handed your pardon papers with breakfast signed by King Lucan and Queen Myra of Naviat, stamped with the Naviat seal. You had your breakfast. You have your pardon papers. Papers have been sent to people they need to be sent to in order to make this official in all locations. And as they go to, the mage goes to be like, okay, where are we sending you? There's a moment of like, everyone's looking at each other, and there's this moment of, I don't really know if we're ready to split up yet. And so they will give you a moment. They step out of the room, they close the door, you are able to talk amongst yourselves to decide truly what is happening next.
I've already promised Tati that I would go with him. So that I will still hold to that, whether or not he decides to go back home or not. I'll go with you, Tati.
I appreciate that. And I tell the guys, maybe not as emotionally, because he's trying to put on a funny, everything's fine, happy facade, like he has this whole campaign. And it's like, okay, well, this is the situation, guys. And just says it all.
Barth would say that Tati's had my back more times than I can count on both of my hands this entire
God damn it.
adventure. So
But Sending Stone, jeez.
so Samir, I will get back to you in a second.
No, I don't know where your wind chime is.
Send me a pic of your wind chime. Maybe I'll be able to notice it.
That's staying in. I'm not cutting that.
So I think Barth would just he probably wouldn't even he would just go with his friend. I think Tati's thing is more a bit higher stakes. So I think
Does Barth tell them his
I-
story, or
I do. I think he will. The orphanage has a specific someone in there who may or may not be Barth's son or daughter.
Young Barth, sir. It does seem like you have the most time-sensitive.
I don't
objective.
know. That's the thing. I don't know if she's still there. I just know that there was I received a letter that whoever it was put it up for adoption. That was the one that was in trouble. That's the one I tried to help. I got caught.
Well,
I don't know if she or he. I don't know if it's a he. I don't know if it's a she. I don't know if they want to know me at all. I just was trying to do something for this person that I know may be mine. If I come back and I can find that person, that's fine. But that's for another day. This sounds more important and more important to Tati. I would help Tati.
Ephraim will go, you know, this seems very important to you and to the world at large, by and large. Without having a world, then we cannot solve all personal issues. So yes, I will come with you. Yes, I can get back to my brother and my dusty old books at any point. This is increasingly important.
Thanks, guys. Tati probably just start crying at this point.
I'll put a hand on Tati's shoulder and go, it's okay to be sad sometimes. You don't always have to be happy.
so it sounds like we are going to the desert.
Looks like we're gonna get hot.
All right, so you
Bring on the desert wear.
you go back. You open up the door, let the people back in after discussing, and you reveal that you've all four decided to head to the desert.
Is Luca and Myra in with the mage with us?
Lucan, but yes, yeah.
Okay, I'll look at him and go, we are free, and we are extremely appreciative of that. But we have some business to take care of. And it's going to be tough, some of it. We could use a little help in the ways of possibly being official. If you have in any way to extend your word, your name upon us, which may or may not help us open some doors up for said issues, that would be greatly appreciated.
I unfortunately can only give you such advantages in Naviat.
Okay.
My word, any title I would be able to give you, it would have no effect anywhere else. But Naviat will know who you are.
Appreciate it. Well, shall we?
You see, Sepha comes over and asks for pets from everyone before you step into the circle. You step into the circle and you see the mage beginning to finish the sigil, to push you in the direction you will need to go. And once the runes are finished, you're standing inside of the circle. Parker just kind of like waves goodbye, and you see the runes light up beneath you, and you feel this pulling in your chest as light surrounds all of you. You're kind of wrapped up in it. It's like this just tornado of light. And as you
Real quick before we go, I just want to run over to Parker and give him a hug and just whisper in his ear, "You've got magic, kid. Don't let it go to waste." And then I'll run back.
Okay, so it's like circling and circling, and then as soon as Naya runs out of the circle, her foot just kind of scuffs one of the runes just barely to deactivate the spell. As she runs over and just hugs Parker, and Parker like hugs her back, and he actually says, oh wait, and he reaches into his pocket and he hands you a small scroll. It's like about the size of a pen. Just a small rolled up scroll, and it is tied shut with a little ribbon, but the paper is thick and durable. And he says, "This is a teleportation scroll. You can use it to get back here if you want to, sometime. I mean, just maybe like whenever you're done or something. One of you has to break the seal, and you all have to be standing together and like touching each other. I only have one because," and then Lucan interrupts and says, "because they're illegal and very expensive." And he looks
I love this kid.
This kid.
Nice.
and Parker just
very quickly before you can take it away.
Parker just smiles awkwardly, gives you another hug, and steps back. You head back over to the circle. Myra is laughing, and Lucan is just shaking his head like, "Oh my gosh, this kid." You stand in a circle again. The mage completes the runes once again, and the light comes up, circles around, and you feel a pulling in your chest right before your feet slam into sand, and you feel the heat of the desert. Parker, standing in this room, watches the light fade. Your forms are gone inside of the circle. The circle is blurry and faded now. And he says, "No," as he suddenly remembers something. So mad at himself, and Myra says, "What? I didn't get Barth's autograph."
I wonder what kind of things can grab me here.
Well, it's sinkholes, Bob. Sinkholes.
Yeah, I was just gonna say you can't fall into anything, but that's not really true.
No.